everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fantastic and wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me. Well, I have a really fun project to share with you. We're making a postage collage. I've only made one of these, and so I thought for Easter we'll make another one. Waffle Flower Crafts just came out with a brand new release, and it's pretty amazing. It's called Springtime, and it's filled with Easter goodness. So my collage card today is going to be an Easter card. We're going to be using some new stuff. This is, of course, we're going to be breaking out our postage collage. Okay, I have the postage collage die set here, and then I'm also going to be using the postage collage blocks die, just because I like to pop things up, and this is perfect for that. Okay, and then we're going to create a scene with the stencil set. This is a 5-piece stencil set. Each of the stencils are indexed, so you know 1 through 5. But the cool thing about these is there's even a color that's etched on here. Well, let me just show you. Okay. This is called the Postage Collage Egg Stencil. Okay, so of course you got the postage collage, but each of them are indexed on top, 1 through 5. And then they also, this one says backgrounds, so the background of this could be any color really, but the rest of them have colors. So for this one you're going to use yellow and orange. It's your preference on where you want to put that. And then this one will say orange and red. Okay, so this is the guide. I mean, you don't have to do that, but it's a nice guide to have when you create your little postage scene. How fun! It's going to go by really quickly. I just love this. So we're going to be, I just keep this out. Okay, so we're going to be doing a little stenciling. And I thought that we would add some die cut elements to our stencil. Okay, there's a little birdie in here that I can add to the birdhouse. And then there's the little chickies that have the little bunny costume. So sweet. We're going to do something with that also. The butterflies, they all layer on here actually beautifully. And so we're going to be using a die set called the Postage Collage Egg Hunt Icons die set. So we'll mix and match a die set with the stencil. And then I have 2 stamp sets. One of them I'm going to use as an accent on my postage collage. We're going to do some heat embossing with this. This is the Postage Collage Egg Hunt. I love the little circle elements and the little design here that we're going to be using. And then for my greeting, I'm going to bring in the, let's see, this is called the Basketful Sentiments. And I do have the coordinating die set. Okay, so we're going to use one of the greetings in here. So we'll be using this. It has a little basket in there too. So not only do these have cute icons, it has a cute little basket that makes a great focal point that you could stuff with eggs. It's hard to tell in here, but there's eggs. Just a buffet of Easter elements that you can add. You get a row of bows you can add to the Easter eggs. How cute is that? Flowers, paintbrushes. You get the little left and right little chickie with the little bunny costume. There's a layering bird. There's a cracked egg here. You also have a little napkin that you can put in the basket. There's a bow for the basket. And then there's layering elements for the bunny. So this is a cute little die set. All things Easter. And so a whole lot of spring happiness here that I get to share with you guys. I'm so happy. I do want to mention too that Waffle Flowers always has a little giveaway over on their shopping site. So nice of them. So this month, if you spend $60 or more, you get this cute little die set. It has some cute little butterflies, and then there are butterfly bodies in here that are perfect for springtime. It's itty bitty. Let me show you the size against an A2. Sometimes size reference is nice, but it is small. Okay, but it's great for little scenes, especially if you want to make a little basket. So this is a little freebie with the purchase. Okay, I just want to mention that. But let's jump in and create a collage card. This is the Postage Collage Egg Hunt Icons die set, and we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. First off, let's die cut out the bird, the butterflies, the little bunny face that goes layered over the chickie, but I'm just wanting the bunny face today. The broken eggshells, the paintbrush, This one here is the ears, and then the heart that goes with the little bunny mask, and then the flowers. I'm going to do a few sets of flowers. Okay, we'll run this through the die cut machine and I'll be right back. I have all my die cutting done. I'm going to zoom in because we're going to do a little bit of ink blending and we'll put together our flowers. Now, after we get this done, we're going to do a little bit of stenciling using our Postage Collage Egg Hunt Stencil. And so there's two little chickies in here. Let me show you. There's two little chickies in here that are facing each other. I'm going to layer one of the little bunny faces over this little chickie on here. So I just need the face, but you want to make sure that you're die cutting out the face that's facing the right. Okay? We're going to do some ink blending with some inks. Let me grab my brushes. I'm going to use my shader brushes, and we're just going to add a little bit of color to the butterflies. Okay, we're going to add, I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Guava ink, and I'm going to add a little bit of pink to my orange butterflies. Ooh, and that's really dark. Maybe a little orange too. I'm going to add a little bit darker orange. I'm going to bring in my cantaloupe, and we'll add a little bit of orange too. There we go. Those are our butterflies. And then for my flowers, I'm going to keep them white, and they're layering, which is really nice. But I'm going to add some brown ink behind the base layer. I'm going to use a Copic marker. I'm using my E74. This is just going to give me some darker flower centers. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is take the top layer, add a little glue, and then we are going to stack them. This is going to give me dimension also. Let me bring in my tweezers. Okay, so all you have to do is layer it right on top. Now all my flowers are done. Next, let's see. Next, let's work on our little bird. I'm going to bring in a blue ink. I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Surf. We're just going to add a little bit of teal highlight to our bird so he stands out, maybe on his belly. It's a layering bird, which is nice. And then I'm going to use that same brown marker, and let's add a dot here. And then we can add a little glue and just layer them together. Maybe we should add a little yellow. I'll add a little yellow. Let's go ahead and bring in a little bit yellow. I'm going to use my Zest ink. And let's see. Yeah, I think just a little tad bit of yellow. And then we can layer this bird right on the top. And then our little bird is done. So sweet. Now we're going to work on our paintbrushes. Okay, oops. I cut out I guess I need to be in screen. Now I cut out two of the little paintbrushes. Okay, and we're going to color these in. The very top layer will be the color that I'm going to use for the paint. And so I think we're going to do a pink. Well, actually, let's do an orange. Let's do an orange. We're going to bring back that cantaloupe ink. And then I'm going to do one orange. We'll just color this over. And then there's the paint portion that you can add ink to also. If you wanted to use your alcohol markers, you could. And so we'll have one orange paintbrush, and then for the other one, let's do blue. We're going to do a teal. Let's do the Surf paintbrush. Actually really easy to color in. And then I'll go over the paint portion too. I don't want to Lovely. For the paintbrush, I'm going to bring in that same brown Copic marker that we are using. We're just going to go over here. I don't have to worry about the bottom because it's going to be covered with the color of paintbrush we're going to use. Now I added glue to the base of the brush, and then we can add the paintbrush handle. We'll do the same thing here. And then we can add the paint right on the top. And then we have two cute little paint brushes. So sweet. Now with this little bunny face, I'm going to die cut this out 3 times with white cardstock. Well, let me go back in here. Is this the right one? I'm going to take the die and I'm going to die cut it out 3 times because I want to pop this little face up, and if I layer them, I can have that dimension. I'll be right back. I went ahead and stacked all 3 of my layers together. This is my final layer, and now we have a little bit of dimension to this little mask. You can see here. Okay, and I don't have to worry about foam tape, real thin foam tape around here. Now while I'm at it, I'm going to bring back my pink shader brush, and I'm just going to add some pink to the detail pieces of the ear. Okay, and then this little nose I'm going to keep separate. I'm going to add that to my stenciled area for a little extra dimension. We actually have two of those little hearts that we're going to layer together. So we have the little mask portion for our little chickie, along with the little chickie nose. Okay, we have 2 butterflies. We have the eggshell. We have 3 large flowers, 3 small flowers. We have the little bird. And then we have a couple of paintbrushes. Doesn't seem like much, but bear with me because we're going to layer them and it's going to be so cute. We're going to put these to the side, and then now we're going to do some stenciling with our Postage Collage stencil. So I'm going to bring in my grit mat. Then we get to take a look at our final results. Oh, how cute is this? I just think this is so adorable. Love it. Okay, what we're going to do next is clean off the work surface, and we're going to die cut out each one of these panels. I'm going to be using my Postage Collage blocks die. We just line this up and I can run this through. I'm also going to die cut out one with white cardstock. So they cut out beautifully. I said I was going to cut out one of these, but you didn't need to, because when I cut this out, it automatically cut out with it. So we're going to save this for our background. And then with these pieces, we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. I'm going to heat emboss with my Postage Collage Egg Hunt. This is so much fun. We're going to add some details with white embossing powder. So I'm going to treat, let's see, let's start off by adding, or no, we could, I'm going to add some powder here over my bunny ears, and then I'm going to stamp this little circle here, add my watermark ink, okay, and then making sure it's right side up, I'm going to stamp it offsetting it. Maybe we'll go on the inside. Let's go on the inside. No. Let's stamp this over here. And then I'm going to bring in my white embossing powder. We're going to go over this here. And then I'll go ahead and melt this one. We're going to do one at a time. Next we'll do this. We're going to do the little egg with the postage, wavy postages. And I just realized I didn't use my anti-static powder. We'll see if this works. Okay, and then we'll melt this. We're going to stamp this circle one a few more times. I'm going to stamp it once here and then once here. It's kind of subtle. And then now we're going to bring in our die cuts and we're going to layer them over here. Now we're going to add this little cracked egg over here at the bottom. We're going to add a little bit of glue. And then we can add our other layer. We're just going to I'm gonna, let's see, and I'm gonna add a paintbrush on this one. There we go. I could zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so that one's done. For this one, I'm going to bring in a small foam square and we're going to add the bird. I want to add the bird without hiding the flowers. And then we're going to pop up the flowers also. Give those a little bit of dimension. I put some small foam squares over here on the butterflies, and I didn't realize this, but we have a yellow flower. So I'm just going to use the ink that's on my shader brush, and we're going to add yellow over the white. And then we can add this little piece will match up perfectly with our little chickie. And since we added dimension already, we don't have to worry about adding any more. For the little heart on the little mask, I colored it in orange. I thought it was the beak to our little chickie, but it's actually the little detail layer here. So that's what I did, was colored it from orange to pink. We layer that. How cute is this? Okay, I am going to add a little flower down here at the bottom. I have one more flower that I'm going to add down here to the carrot. So each one of our little elements has a little bit of dimension to it. I just love how they just pop out. I think they're going to look great on our postage collage. Okay, we're going to do is create a greeting. I'm going to stamp the greeting in here that says "Somebody loves you." I wanted a long skinny one, and this will be perfect to put in the middle of my postage collage. I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Wonderful. And then I'll go ahead and die cut this out. That's all there is to my greeting. We're going to put it all together, but I do need to die cut out my postage collage die, and I'm going to use some teal colored cardstock. I'll do that and I'll be right back. So I'm going to take my postage collage and attach it to the background. Just need to make sure that the smaller one's in the bottom corner. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. So the dots in between are covered. There's no waste. Look at how nice that is. So you could use this side or this side. I'm going to just use it as a background. Okay, and then we'll take this panel and I'm going to add glue behind here, and then we're going to tack this down on the front of our card base. For my card base today, I added a ivory panel to the very front. So the inside's white, the top is just ivory. And I want to have an opening. So technically this is a side folding card. Okay, and it will be a landscape top folding card, because I want to put some twine. I almost had it upside down. You want to make sure that the smaller squares in the bottom corner. Lovely. And then I'm going to use some foam squares, but these foam squares happen to be a lower profile, so it's going to give me a little bit of dimension, but not that much. Enough dimension to where I can layer it over the twine and it'll still be nice and flush. We will start with our little Easter egg up in the corner. And I love that you can still see the stitch detail around here. So sweet. Our bunny goes down here. And again, I tried to make sure that my bow, let me show, the knot ended up on the polka dots. That way, you can still see it. Lovely. We have our little Easter eggs. Not too bulky, really. I'm going to go ahead and remove the release paper off of my greeting, and then we will layer this. I'm going to layer it right in the center. Last but not least, I'm going to bring in my diamond stickles, and I'm going to add it to the paint brushes on top. And also I'm going to add a little dot to the flower centers. I'm going to go over the butterfly too. I'm going to go over both butterflies. Give those a little sparkle. And then a little heart on my little bunny costume. And that will finish off my card project for today. A super cute little Easter card. I just love it that Waffle Flower does all the work for you. You just have to do the layering and add ink. It's so much fun. Everything that I used today was part of Waffle Flower's brand new release. I hope you get a chance to check it out. I'll link everything down below. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.